Theo Wease Jr. likely could have gone pro after a stellar season with Missouri. He could have easily found his way onto an NFL roster, carved out a decent role, and had a pretty overall successful career at the next level. But instead, he realized there's something special going on in Columbia for 2024, and I want to be a part of it. Let's talk about Wease's commitment back to Missouri for next season and what this does for the Tigers and Eli Drinkwitz in a brand new version of the SEC. But before any of that, if you are new here, welcome on into the channel. My name is Cole Thompson. I'm a radio show host based in Houston, and I talk college football daily. So if this is the type of content you enjoy, plus coaching searches, the transfer portal, national championship news, and a bunch of other nonsense, make sure that you smash that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment telling me what is your prediction of the overall record for Missouri in 2024. Tell your friends, your enemies, mortal bros, really everybody that loves college football and Missouri fans everywhere about this channel, because we're on the race to 5,000 subscribers, then 25,000, then 50,000, and ultimately 100,000. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get there. So jump on in while the water's fine. Continue to follow me on social media at Mr. Cole Thompson. We got big stuff implored. We got a big backdrop coming up, more live shows. But that way you follow me on social media. Conversations around our favorite sport never have to stop. Okay, Theo Wease Jr. is coming back for 2024. This is monumental. We talk about what's going on at Ole Miss right now with what they've added in via the portal and how a breakout season could just be the baseline for what's in store for the future. The same thing has to be said about Missouri, because the two schools are really built a lot alike, not in the same ways of coaching, and not in the same offensive structures or defensive personnels, but neither school is really well known at the highest level of the SEC. Everyone knows Alabama. Everyone knows LSU. Everyone knows Georgia. And even though they've fallen off a cliff in the last 2 decades, Tennessee and Florida have had their bright moments where they spotlight in the sun. But Missouri, they have to earn the respect. Ole Miss, they have to earn the respect. And the best way to do so is with wins and consistency. And the more consistent winning seasons you have, the better off you are for it. Ole Miss has now had 2 10-win seasons underneath Lane Kiffin. You've finally seen your first 11-win season underneath Eli Drinkwitz. And more importantly, you're watching the success grow in all 3 stages of the game. Not only on offense and defense and special teams, but also on the recruiting trail. Top 25 recruiting class this season. And on the transfer portal. Look at the names that you've been able to add in. Toriano Pride from Clemson, a media plug-and-play cornerback. You also brought in Caden Green from Oklahoma, a stalwart in the trenches. Marcus Carroll, goodbye, Cody Schroeder. Thank you so much for all you did, but we feel very comfortable with what we're bringing in from Georgia State. Another stellar running back that's going to fortify the run game for any offense that you want to run with Kirby Moore. But you also are retaining a lot of talent. Luke DeBurden's not going anywhere. He had a breakout season this past year. Absolutely going to be a favorite to win the Biletnikoff going into 2024. You're not losing most of your offensive line. You're not losing your young up-and-coming 6'7" tight end. You're retaining a lot of defensive talent. Theo Wease Jr., who caught over 50 catches and also had, if I'm not mistaken, 682 yards and 6 touchdowns. Guy's going to fill in as that number 2 role for an SEC team in a year where the schedule is very bountiful. I mean, if you look top to bottom at what Missouri is going up against next year, do you find a game where you're really sitting and going, they can't win that? I'm not saying they will win every game, because that's almost impossible to guess, especially in the SEC with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma. But are you really sitting out there right now and going, can't win that one, can't win that one, can't win that one? So the best we can be is 9-3. No, that was the Missouri of old. That was the Columbia of past tense. That's what the other Columbia in the SEC is thinking right now with South Carolina. You are thinking 10-2 should be the expectation. 11-1 is an added bonus. And a college football playoff appearance, very well in reach. Brady Cook's coming back. Luther Burden's coming back. The additions added in via the transfer portal are bountiful, and all are plug-and-play starters. I mean, literally, all are plug-and-play starters. You're talking about Toriano Pride, Ennis Rackstraw out, Pride in. Chris McClellan, Florida defensive lineman, comes on in and fills the void up the middle. Corey Flagg, Miami linebacker, comes on in, immediately replaces Tyrone Hopper. Darius Smith, another edge player on the outside. Caden Green, upgrade for your offensive line. Right tackle, okay. Left tackle, okay. Interior offensive line, sure, whatever. As long as he's starting at one of the 5 spots, we're in a good place. And you're retaining as much talent as possible. So no matter how you view this right now, Missouri's on the come up. And now that you add in Theo Wease, it also takes pressure off of your young receivers to have to make that impact, because now goals are not changing in Columbia. I don't think many people are going to treat this as a one and done type season. They're now expecting, with Eli Drinkowitz at the helm. We got 10 wins this past year. 10's now the goal. What's the overachieving goal? What's the criteria past 10 wins? Well, we don't have a number 2 receiver. We don't really care. Well, now you don't have to worry about a guy like Courtney Crutchfield, who eventually will end up being a legit superstar in Columbia, to be that guy in year 1. He can be a number 3. He could be a number 4. He could be a red zone target. He could be what Carnell Tate was for Ohio State this past year because of the success that you have at receiver. This is a deadly team. This is a very physical team that is retaining enough talent to where you feel confident going into next season. We have a shot. I'm not saying you're going to win the whole damn thing, and I'm not saying you're even going to make it past the first round of the playoff. But going into next year, we talk about Ole Miss being a top 10 preseason team. Mizzou's going to be up there. Mizzou might even surpass Ole Miss. They may be alongside Tennessee or LSU, who always get the benefit of the doubt because of their big brand logo. You know what you get? You get the big bad confidence booster of knowing you went 11-2. What did they do? What did they do last year? 9-4, 10-3, where you had questions with your defense. You don't have that many questions with Blake Baker running the show. You have even fewer questions with Kirby Moore calling the shots on offense. Good move by Missouri. Great move by Theo Wease to be willing to come back. This is what you do when you have a great identity culture cemented in a program. You watch players understand, I have an option at hand. I can come back, be a part of something promising, maybe boost my draft stock in the process, and remember this for the rest of my life. Or I can go to the pros and just see what happens. I don't know what will occur in Indianapolis, what will occur in my pro day workout. I don't know any of these things. But what I do know is I'm part of something special, and I want to be here. And that's why Missouri and Ole Miss are a lot alike. Kentucky's a lot like this, where they're no nonsense, go to work, carry yourself with a different ailment. And when you come down on campus, we don't care where you've been before. We don't care how you got here. As long as you're willing to put in the work, we'll respect you and we'll have you be a part of our system. Theo Wease started his career off at Oklahoma. He comes over to Missouri, makes an immediate impact in year 1. Now, he could be the difference maker of what turns Missouri from a 10-win team to an 11-win team and a college football playoff sleeper into a legit contender by January 1st. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.